Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday to you. Yes, I am back in the studio, and just because I like to poke fun at the people that really love to take notice, I have washed and dried the same T-shirt as yesterday, just because I like to hear the people in the comments point it out. So we're all here. We're going to do another morning chat, and what do I want to talk about today? Well, I want to talk about communication and not just radios, right? Whenever we hear comms, we hear radios, but we communicate in a ton of different ways. One of the ways is by writing. How's your penmanship, right? I'm talking about you're not in a hurry. You're just writing something down. Maybe you're making a shopping list, or maybe you're jotting down some notes from a video or whatever. Can you read them when you're done, right? We're probably all guilty of it at some point in time. Uh, can others read them? Right? Well, what's the point of writing something down if you, or anybody can't read it? I mean, it's a sad state of affairs when most schools are not teaching cursive. So keep that in mind if you ever want to do some semi-secure comms. Write your note in cursive, right? But it's the same thing. Writing, we get taught at a young age, right? Little rural already started writing different small words and letters and things like that before he even started kindergarten. We learn from a very very young age, and we continue to grow and develop as we get older, and we take it for granted, as we get much much older. But when we get to an SHTF situation, and we've talked about, can you fire your firearm under pressure? You have a moving target. It's not a piece of paper. It's a living, breathing thing on the move, sometimes even returning fire. How do you handle stress, right? Oh man, this person is gashing blood all over the place, and you're in that heightened high adrenaline state and panic and all this other stuff. How do we deal with pressure? Have you ever put yourself under pressure of writing down a note? I'm gonna guess probably most people haven't. It's one of the things that my mag we have thought about and we have done. We have done a thing to where we've set up little stations and we have done various forms of stress, and you have to take notes during it and then hand that off. And somebody has to be able to read your notes. How's your drawing skills? Can you look at something and draw out a map? Can you draw out some features, right? Might be a halfway decent thing to go out and start practicing. And I'm not talking about making some masterpiece with a pen and a scrap of whatever. I'm just talking about, I can see it, somebody else can see it, and we're good. Same thing though when it comes to words. If we are going to speak, we have to be able to enunciate, right? And I'm not perfect when it comes to English, and I've been speaking it all my life. Accents come into play. The way that we use slang terms and the way that some people just speak different. I mean, you're talking about English when it comes to American. Uh, Different parts of the United States have a whole different way of speaking and things like that. Terminology becomes a factor. But what about everything else, right? What about the way that we communicate with our body language and hand signals and different things like that? How do we go through and do we communicate by doing anything of signals, right? Um, you can do something about which way the flag is facing, or what color ribbon is tied around the tree. There's all sorts of different ways to communicate. One of the things to remember, just by going back and talking about penmanship, everybody has to be on the same page. You can come up with a great system, but if the other people that need to read what you put, whether it's a symbol whether it is written on piece of paper, whether it's smoke signals, whatever it is. If they don't understand, then what's the point? Everybody has to be on the same page, and there's so many different versions of comms. It makes me shudder, if that's the term for it, when people go, "Well, I'm good in comms." Are you? Right? Do you know all the different ways to talk on the radio and to write things down and to know Morse code and to know sign language? And I mean, we can keep going. Does everybody in your mag know? Under pressure, can they depict Morse code out? Right? Uh, there's so many different forms of comms that I think most people take for granted, that they know radios really well, or they know sign language really well. And they've trained their whole mag and group, and everybody has trained really, really well. And they're really good at it. Okay, what happens when your radio fails, or this fails or whatever, and we have to do a whole another form of communication? Are you versed in that? Have you practiced in that? Have you practiced under duress? A lot of people, they have fancy communications and radios and all this stuff. Have you tried that out doing a mock gun battle, or while somebody is screaming in pain? No? Just saying. Just a few things to think about, right? So uh, we'll leave it there. So hope that you guys have an amazing day, a blessed day. Stay tuned because there's more information to come with that. Remain united because we're all prepping in this together.